What up, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Chinnist. Today is March 9th. 3 days after New Comic Book Day, these are my pickups for March 6th, this past Wednesday. Total of 26 different titles throughout my Midtown order and left-hand side as well. Sorry about the late post, guys. I had a couple happy hours this week and a couple birthday celebrations as well. So getting into the DC side of things, Doomsday Clock. Number 9 of 12. This is the issue that, man, we have been waiting for to see what's been going on with Dr. Manhattan. This was a great issue, in my opinion, man. The best action-packed one so far. Tons of heroes, as you see, kind of converging on this power source that they found out in Mars. So yeah, I'm not going to show you what happens when Dr. Manhattan actually confronts all of our heroes here, but man, great stuff. Doomsday Clock number 9. Green Lantern number 5. So Grant Morrison, man, great writer, but this is really more of a fantasy, heavy metal type of take for Green Lantern. The storylines that are being told here, the artwork, I love it. So this is Hal Jordan has been captured by the Black Star, and he's kind of going on a little bit of a covert mission, trying to become one of them to try to get some additional information. But man, great epic adventure that he has to go through this little trial here in this one issue. So man, great stuff. Of course, without his ring. Great storyline so far. Green Lantern number 5. Justice League number 19. I've really enjoyed Justice League since they've actually come back, since the Justice No Justice storyline. They kind of rebooted Justice League one more time. But yeah, man, great stuff. I also enjoy how Wonder Woman, she's actually performing some magic acts at this point in time. Since they did the Justice League Dark type of title, where she has more of a mystic magic type of background, they're actually using that here in these ongoing storylines here in Justice League. So yeah, great stuff. Mr. Pixelix is actually making a guest appearance here, introducing them to a unknown 6 universe that they've never ever knew in the past. So yeah, great storyline. Justice League number 19. Adventures in Super Sons. I said from like day one, ever since they kind of introduced the Super Sons, I love their banter between the two, man. You can really tell they're best friends, and similar to how Clark Kent and Bruce Wayne are today. But man, their children will take like another step towards a deeper relationship that Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent never really had, because they never really grew up together as best friends. So yeah, man, love the banter between this, the humor that's kind of spread out throughout this title here. Love it. Adventures of Super Sons number 8. Young Justice number 3. I was looking forward to this title. When they introduced some of these, they brought back Bart Allen, they brought back Connor Kent. Really enjoyed them, in the past, but, come to find out this continuity is within current continuity. And I really don't understand how, that kind of takes place. Overall, this is not exactly what I was looking for. I'm going to give this first arc, I'm going to complete the first arc and see what I think. But a little bit slower, reintroducing where these characters have been, since we saw them last. Just mildly okay, in my opinion. This is just a 3 out of 5 on the storyline side. We'll see where the end of the first arc takes us. But yeah, this is Young Justice number 3. Moving on to Marvel. So Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys a Marvel history. This is number 1. Able to pick up, this is cover A. Picked up a cover B as well. Also able to pick up a few incentives. So this is the Carlos Pacheco variant incentive with Fantastic Four here in the cover. This was listed for, I think, $12 on Midtown this week. So yep, also picked up one more, had the Rob Liefeld cover. This one was actually listed at $40 on Midtown. Picked up both of these incentives for cover price at the same LCS actually this past week. So yep, happy to pick up these, and I think I'll stay with the Rob Liefeld one and put the others in the spec box, to tell you the truth. So yeah, storyline overall. So this kind of picks up where Donny Cates, left off. The creator of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Enjoy this title, but not exactly what I thought overall. You know, a couple heartfelt moments here that kind of occurred. Storyline, the humor that's there was not as good as the Donny Cates humor, in my opinion. I think that's the one thing that maybe, you know, lacking just a tad is the humor. There is humor, but the humor is not as good and consistent as what Donny Cates had. But pretty decent nonetheless. I am going to continue on this entire title all the way through. So yeah, Cosmic Ghost Rider destroys the Marvel history. Picked up copy of the Immortal Hulk number 14. Again, I'm not really reading this one all the way through. It's super hot, so I'm going to pick up these issues along the way. I did skim through this. You know, this will be, you know, future implications for a possible Immortal Red She-Hulk, in my opinion, from what I see here. But, yep, Immortal Hulk number 14. Champions number 3. Really enjoy Champions, you know, Teen Titans, Champions, all those teen type of teams out there, man. Good stuff. Great writing right now. A little bit of a future implication of who this future villain is going to be in future story arcs. But we go back to the team, and brand new team. They're kind of reintroducing some of the powers, kind of explaining how the team kind of works together, a little bit of a dynamics. But it really gets more into the Miles Morales issue. A few issues back, the Champions, majority of the team actually died. Mephisto brought back to life the Champions that did die, and the only two people who recall this are Miles Morales and Amadeus Cho. So this is really more Miles Morales, how he's dealing, you know, with that tragic event, that it was all his decision to bring these Champions back to life. So yep, enjoy the storyline, you know, pretty good, you know, heartfelt type of storyline here. Champions number 3. Domino Hotshots number 1. Brand new title one more time, and this is again by Gail Simone. Gail Simone is a little bit hit or miss for me. Some I loved, some I did not. I loved what she did with Domino. Man, I loved Domino's humor that she kind of brought back in that last Domino title that occurred. This one kind of runs directly into almost this exact same artwork, same feel, the same type of storyline here. So yep, this one introduces, she creates her own team, including Outlaw, Diamondback, Black Widow, White Fox, Atlas Bear. I think they pick up one more here in this issue. But pretty good storyline so far. And again, I love the humor in this, what Gail Simone does with Domino. And love the comedy. So yep, Hotshots number 1. Conan the Barbarian. One where I did not think that I would continue on, but I do enjoy the storyline so far. So here you have Conan, who is a ruler of the city here, and along the way he gets so bored, you know, he kind of doesn't know what to do with himself. So he actually picks up a lion in an attempt to, you know, not to commit suicide, but I think he wanted to fight the lion, but the lion ended up befriending Conan, you know, one of his best friends ever. Conan goes on to become somewhat of a Batman for the city. So by day he rules, sitting on the throne, and at nighttime he goes out killing all types of you know, wrongdoers, you know, extreme bad men. So Conan's a good guy, so he's just killing bad guys out on the streets at nighttime, and you know, really a Batman Punisher type of feel to him. Pretty cool stuff. Enjoyed the storyline. Conan the Barbarian number 4. Star Wars number 26. This is the ongoing main title here. This one starts out, as you see, a brand new story arc. And, you know, sometimes when Star Wars starts a new story arc, you know, a lot of dialogue, you know, a little bit of drama, a little bit of, you know, not much action. So, you know, again, setting up the new storyline, but, man, love the Star Wars stories overall, man. Really enjoy them. So, yep, Star Wars number 62. Wow, it's getting way up there. This was a new Star Wars title that came out, Vader Dark Visions. So this is number 1. This one's a little bit different here. This is kind of, I love this 2-page splash. You know, at the very end of, what was it, The Last Jedi? What you had was that little kid who may have been Force sensitive, and, you know, what he saw, you know, the Jedi do at that point in time and what the little kids kind of take forward with him. And this is kind of like that same type of perspective. You have this child here who sees Vader go on this adventure here on his home planet. And this was like his impressions and his takeaway, you know, of what he saw this Dark Knight Vader to be. And man, Vader is a complete badass, man. Pretty cool how he destroys this shark monster that kind of plagues the planet. Man, cool stuff, man. Love Darth Vader. So yep, Vader Dark Visions #1. Uncanny XMen #13. So we have Cyclops and Wolverine, Logan, finally together again, and they are rebuilding the X-Men team. They've already picked up some of the astonishing X-Men team, that title that finished up, where Havoc was leading that team. And man, I love the dialogue between Cyclops and Wolverine, man. Absolutely love it, dude. I was laughing here on these first couple pages, man. Love the dialogue. So yep, enjoy this here. And they also picked up that early 80s, you know, late 80s, early 90s costumes again, man. So Wolverine in the black and yellow costume, the brown and yellow costume, man. Love it, dude. I haven't seen this in forever. But yep, Uncanny X-Men, really enjoying this reboot that they brought back, #13. Black Order #5. So as I said before in previous videos, I was not collecting at the point in time when these characters were introduced. So I was actually introduced to these characters, like, you know, majority of the United States, at the movie screen, you know, while watching the Avengers. So fell in love with these characters right off the bat just because they were so strong, so powerful, so awesome. But to find, you know, their team dynamics, you know, some of their history of what they did, and their team going forward, a little bit of a mutiny here going on. But yeah, really enjoy the Black Order. This is issue #5. Avengers #16, the ongoing title here. When they brought back Blade, I was a little bit hesitant, you know, wasn't always too much of a big Blade fan, but man, I think the storyline with these vampires is phenomenal so far, dude. Absolutely love the storyline here. So you have, you know, Robbie Reyes, who's been transformed and is being utilized by the vampires. He is, you know, kind of a slave to them at this point in time, but they're fighting, you know, he's over there fighting the Avengers, you know, not having any power to stop it. And I love how Blade gets, you know, completely dominated by that wolf dog, that demon dog here, man. He completely just, man, plays with Blade, man. Blade has, man, no power over that guy. So yep, love the banter here, love the dialogue, great action, great storyline. Avengers #16. This vampire storyline is phenomenal, man. Check it out. Another good Avengers storyline right now, No Road Home. Great stuff. I love that No Surrender 16-issue storyline that came out last time. This one kind of continues on. This one issue is really about Nyx, spelled Nyx, but this talks about her origin story, the creation when it was just complete blackness, and as time went by, you had other light. Zeus created other life, and it kind of explains how she was shunned while other life started being brought to the universe. They started having children, and they started explaining how she started having children along the same generation that the Olympian gods started having their children. So yep, love this issue here, man. You know, of course, she's a brand new character, didn't know anything about her, but this issue really, you know, injects value into her, you know, going forward in the Marvel universe. So yep, really enjoy this one. If you have not been checking out this No Road Home storyline so far, definitely check it out. Avengers No Road Home, #4. One more Star Wars. This is Age of Republic that picked up the cover A, and this one deals with Padme, of course, and picked up this was a low ratio. I think this was listed for $8, I believe, over at Midtown, but Amidala, this was the movie variant. So overall, I felt this issue was completely passable, in my opinion. You know, these are kind of like one-shots of the characters, you know, displayed on the title, obviously. But man, this one about Padme was just, you know, again, completely passable. I think this one is going to go in my spec box, and this will go in my PC. Picked up another movie variant. I think this was listed for $10 over at Midtown. This was Meet the Skrulls. This was the movie variant from Captain Marvel. I actually saw that last night, man. Great movie so far. I kind of fell asleep a little bit, so I got to rewatch it again. But this was a scene that actually came out of the Captain Marvel movie that I saw last night. So overall, the storyline here, I did read it, and this is very, very reminiscent of the Vision storyline, in my opinion, that came out here not too long ago. I think like 3 years ago, possibly. But yes, more dramatic. You know, this is more of a real life type of storyline here. But yes, if you're into that, if you're into the Vision, I would highly suggest this Meet the Skrulls. Moving on to Image, Cemetery Beach number 7. I've loved this title all the way through. This one actually concludes this little 7-issue miniseries title that's gone on. The artist was the same artist from Extremity. So, man, love that artist. And, you know, it kind of has that big action feel, artwork that kind of goes along with the storyline. The storyline was a complete, like, car chase type of storyline from, like, issue number 2 all the way on, man. I really enjoyed this one. This one would do really well being read in trade, in my opinion. So if y'all have not checked this one out, looking for some good action adventure, if you enjoy that Extremity that came out from Image not too long ago, check this one out, Cemetery Beach. Only one more from Image this week, Die number 4. So I used to play Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, kind of growing up, like age like 10 through 13. And used to love it, and you know, very reminiscent. You know, this kind of takes me back to my childhood. This one issue is kind of explaining how this world, the Die world, kind of works, and a little bit more, kind of like a deep dive into the psyche of the main characters here. You know, a little bit more character background and what they've been going through mentally, you know, along the way once they were introduced to this Die world. So yep, this one's a little bit slower, but very heartfelt in my opinion. So yep, if you enjoyed that Dungeons and Dragons back in the day, I would say check this one out. Die issue number 4. Picked up one from Action Lab. This one's called Abberannt. This one kind of deals with kind of mutants and how the government kind of deals with the mutants in the world. And this one issue is pretty much pretty cool. This was like a chase all the way through. So this guy has no real mutant powers. He's really intelligent, you know, so he's like a Lex Luthor, you know, type of guy. And he's being chased by this like behemoth, like Jason type of guy. He has no power other than physical strength, and he never gets tired. So he's like Jason kind of chasing you down. So, man, this one issue, this guy's just being chased by this guy the entire time through. Dude, I thought it was pretty good, man. Pretty cool, you know, thrilling chase, you know, all the way through. Abberannt number 5. Moving on to Aftershock. Shout out to Tim, the Canadian comic hunter. He actually turned me on to this title when it came out originally in previews, I believe. But Oberon number 2. I think the issue number 1 came out when I took a snowboarding trip, so I didn't get to do a video on that one. But man, really enjoy this one. You have this main character, this girl, who found out she lived in the real world, you know, and found out that her parents were not her parents, and she was part of this mystical fantasy world that this guy, Oberon, kind of introduced her to. So you find out, man, this guy's like super evil, man, and even though it looks fanciful, you know, this guy's beheaded, you know, this is definitely an adult type of storyline. The world they kind of started building up here, they started really explaining it more here in this issue number 2. Really enjoy this one so far. So yep, I did subscribe to this one. If you're looking for that fantasy storyline that's out there, check this one out, Oberon number 2. One more from Aftershock, A Walk Through Hell. So this issue number 8, man, like it goes back to the title, this is really a walk through hell, man. Like the storylines they're explaining here, the characters that what they've done in the past. This is literally, you know, I could tell that they're trapped in some sort of limbo hell. Man, very, very dark stuff, man. Very adult oriented. Yeah, so if you're looking for something dark, a different type of storyline, not really horror, man. This is just like really dark storyline. A Walk Through Hell number 8. Picked up one from Boom Studios. So this is Ronin Island. So I was pretty intrigued as soon as I read this one in previews. I subscribed to this one. So I picked up another cover A and a cover B as well. So overall, what you have here, you are in feudal times back in Japan, when you did have samurais back in the day, and you have an island here who are full of Ronin farmers. And Ronin just means that they are not allegiant to a certain king, I believe is how I understood the storyline here. And there's some sort of evil coming from the mainland, where the other samurai kind of came in and said, hey, we will protect you if you give us, part of your agriculture production. And what you find out, the evil is actually some sort of either demons or zombies that are taking possession of people. So this is going to be like a demon zombie type of storyline. So yep, very intrigued, man. Love zombie storylines. This was pretty good so far. A couple of the characters they introduced so far, man, very, really enjoy that the main hero and the heroine that's going to be the main focus here. But yeah, Ronin Island #1, check it out. Seems really interesting so far. Picked up one from Dark Horse Comics, Halo Lone Wolf. So man, played all the Halo games, man, loved it. I loved this character, man. She was in Halo Reach, man, loved her. But the storyline, man, very good. I love how they have the AI as a complete character, just like Cortana was, back in the video games. But here you find out, man, it's really the humans who are kind of the enemy here. But yep, love the Halo world. Very good storyline so far. If you're looking for some more Halo storylines, man, check out these Dark Horse comic titles. One more for y'all. This is from Dynamite. This is the $6 Million Man. I used to watch this back in the day, one of my favorite. And you also had the Bionic Woman as well. But yeah, this one was pretty good, and I felt this was good based on the humor side of things. So you have, this is like Steve Austin. He's a $1 million man, and he has all sorts of robotic arms. He's super strength. He has super strength. He has like a laser eye. The issue is, and where the humor comes into play, he has hardly any training like whatsoever. So he gets into these situations, and just due to the fact that he's kind of like a newbie, I mean, it kind of starts these humorous type of situations. So yep, I love it for that, really for the humor itself. Not enough for me to pick this up on a monthly basis, but when this comes out in trade, I will be picking this one up. So yep, the $6 Million Man. Guys, that's going to be it for this week's brand new haul. Thanks for waiting for this one to come out this week. Should you enjoy what you see here, please like and subscribe. Talk to you later.